Reddit stories from r/AskReddit. What is a fact that could possibly save your life? If you have a cut that gets infected and see a streak of red going up from it, go to the doctor immediately. It is a sign of serious infection that can lead to sepsis. A girl in my middle school pointed out the girl sitting in front of me and started yelling that she needed to go to a hospital right away. The girl had what looked like a red, purple tree root tattoo coming out of her sock and up her calf. Turns out she was right and it was some kind of blood infection. I was really confused at the time but never forgot it. That stuff is no joke. Actual fires spread shockingly fast. We all like to play "what's the one thing you'd grab if your house was on fire?" But the real right answer is that if it's not alive, you should leave it and get the hell out. People tend to imagine a fire burning on the floor in a corner somewhere, but the reality is often that it's running across the ceiling and circling around the walls. Just get out. I'm in Australia and recently was woken up by a watch and act alert. There was a bushfire racing up the gully 2 streets away. In that moment when I knew I wasn't going to stay and fight and had to leave immediately, I left with my phone, wallet, medication and pets. No trinket or photo album mattered. The necessities could be replaced, and people are really generous to those in need during an emergency. It was interesting packing my emergency bag for this season, and how little I packed. Will I be sad if my home burns? Of course. Will I miss some of my stuff? Yes. But I'm not going to care when the flames come. If you encounter a mountain lion, do not turn your back on it. Walk backwards. Cats are ambush predators. They don't want to fight you head-on and will wait for you to turn around to attack. There are videos showing this behavior with tigers at the zoo. People will sit in front of the enclosure, and as soon as they turn their back to the cat, the tiger goes into stalk mode. They turn around to face the tiger, and the tiger goes out of stalk mode. This works on house cats too. My cat loves to stalk me, and when I turn and face her she's suddenly cute and fluffy and cuddly. I turn my back and my leg gets eviscerated. Fun fact, house cats are barely domesticated and are almost identical in behavior to their wild counterparts. If you've gone 2.5 or more days without water, and you have to choose between drinking water without any way to sanitize it or not drinking water, drink the water. If you don't, you'll definitely die soon. Most of the diseases you can get from bad water take a couple days to set in, which gives you more time to find help. Also, if you have any kind of tubing available, you can force the untreated water into your rectum and hydrate via your intestines, and you probably won't even get sick from it. Your intestines absorb some of the water over about 20 minutes and you kinda just give yourself an enema. I have a friend who can suck water up into his butt and then squirt it out in a stream like he's a whale. So he'll do it while swimming and he'll pull down his pants and then go under water and then come up with only his butt surfacing, and then at that moment he squirts it out. Anyway, I guess his water butt sucking ability is more useful than I would have thought. If you ever find yourself caught in a riptide, swim parallel to the shoreline until you get out of the riptide. Swimming directly back to the shore while caught in one won't get you anywhere and it'll only exhaust you, making it extremely dangerous to do so. Alternatively, if you can't get out, kick back and let the rip take you out. They usually don't go out more than 25 meters. Once it dies down, swim perpendicular to the rip and back in. This is good advice. Your average person would have a hard time swimming more than 200 meters, 8 lengths of your average community pool, unhindered. Learn to let the currents do the work for you. There will also typically be parallel currents that you can observe while you bide your time. Knowing your capabilities is also important. If you can't swim more than 200 meters without a break, swim near a lifeguard. Also learn to float. I saved a kid in huge surf who only lasted long enough for me to get to him by doing the jellyfish, rolling up in a ball and letting the air in your lungs float you to the top. You can do the Heimlich maneuver on yourself. Seriously, think about how often you eat or snack when you're by yourself, even if someone is in another room. If you're choking, you cannot talk or scream. Everyone should learn it. It's simple. Just make a fist and shove it up and into someone's rib cage. My fiancé was choking on some cake in bed and I was able to dislodge it that way. Shit fucking happens, be prepared. To clarify, if you're doing it to someone else, stand behind them, clasp your fists in front of their belly button and go inside and upwards. You want to push their diaphragm up so they expel enough air to dislodge what is stuck. Basically, you're coughing for them. Also, always get checked at the hospital after a Heimlich. It's 100% possible to get internal bleeding from one, and you won't feel it. You will go home from your dinner feeling lucky and you will bleed out in your sleep. Always get a check-up. If a friend of yours has fallen through ice into a frozen body of water and you would like to save them, lie down on the ice and crawl out to them, do not walk out to them standing up. This maximizes your surface area and lessens the likelihood that you will fall through the ice as well, getting you both fucked. Ooh, side note, if you are the one to fall through the ice, the first thing to do is to calm down and fight the effects of shock by taking deep breaths. You will do no good spazzing out and hyperventilating. After calming down, the next step is to army crawl on the ice. Do not try to lift yourself up on the nearest ice because this will make that ice also fail. Once army crawling on the ice, bring your legs parallel to the surface of the water and kick hard and fast, pushing yourself onto the ice. Similar to the above comment, this is to minimize stress on the ice by maximizing surface area. Smiley face. Fast. Face, arms, speech, time. It's a way to spot a stroke. Face, if you've got an uneven smile or a part of your face is drooping. Arms, if you raise your arms and one of them slumps or can't be raised as high. Speech, slurred or unintelligible speech. Time, is of the essence. Call 911 immediately. ****edit, guys, I work in a kitchen. Stop asking me specific questions. I'm not a doctor. So important. My wife is a nurse and made sure I knew all this stuff. One day, at work, a young coworker who was a very healthy person who ran every day had a stroke. I called 911 against her vehement protests and she was in a hospital within 30 minutes. None of my coworkers had a clue what was happening. For teaching me this stuff, my wife gets all the credit. Lock your doors at night. If you've been stabbed and the weapon is left in your body, do not remove it. Edit, as has been brought to my attention, lock your door always. Hollywood has film after film with a scene where someone is shot and the entire focus is on getting the bullet out. Once the bullet is removed, the characters relax as if a great harm was avoided, when that is the worst thing you could do in those circumstances. Don't dig the bullet out. Wait for a qualified doctor to do that. In the meantime, that bullet is plugging the hole that might cause you to bleed to death, or in the act of removing the bullet an artery could get severed or nerve damage could be done. Movies are so full of bullshit. Learn to swim. You don't have to be Michael Phelps racing a shark. Just learn the basics. Greater than swimming isn't a sport. Swimming is a way to keep from drowning. George Carlin. Not really a fact, but someone once told me this: if you wouldn't dare to put your dick in there, don't put your finger in there neither. This is useful, especially with big machines and other things with holes. You can prevent some serious injuries like this. Dude, you just made nose-picking a whole new experience. In a crisis situation, people run for the door they came in from. When the shooter walks into the restaurant, run for the kitchen. There's always an exit through the kitchen, and very few people will think to run there. Plus, if you're not armed, a kitchen is full of killer cutlery to defend yourself with. Same on a plane. Flight attendants aren't just telling you the exits are here, here and here for fun. Go out the nearest exit, not the one you came in through. If someone is trying to abduct you and fighting back or yelling for help doesn't work, then pretend to faint, or vomit on them. If those tactics don't work, then take the chance of getting stabbed or shot to escape. Once you get in the vehicle with an abductor, your odds of surviving are less than if injured in public. This. Do not let them take you to the second crime scene. Fight for your life. If you ever come into contact with a gorilla, especially a male, stay low and quiet, and no sudden moves. Don't look them in the eyes either. They take loud noises and movement as a challenge, and they'll crush you like a soda can. And don't smile with visible teeth too. Teeth equals menace in animal communication. If you have to smile, keep your lips closed. And still don't look him straight in the eyes. Same is valid with big aggressive dogs known for difficult behavior, example, Rottweiler, or any dog that recognize one only superior alpha male in the family. If you are not the chief in charge in the pack, avoid looking in their eyes, they can take it as a challenge. If you're at a bar or club and some asshole antagonizes you, don't let your ego get involved. Seen so many people get hurt when they could just walk away. Funny thing is, most people think fighting back will defend their pride, but to me and a lot of other people, you just look insecure. Be the cool guy who just laughs it off. Yours sincerely. Former bartender. Honestly, knowing that a bad punch can kill you easily, I'd never get in a fight unless it's necessary to defend my life. People should be taught self-defense at school, mostly to learn that a bar fight can easily kill them. In a kidnapping situation where the person is trying to get you to force you to go somewhere secluded or into a vehicle, even if they have a weapon, always fight to not go with them and run. If they're trying to get somewhere private, they're planning to do something very bad to you that requires privacy. It's better to be stabbed or shot at in a public place where people can hear you rather than in a secluded place. Usually making a lot of noise and screaming will scare most offenders off. That's so true. Please don't get into the car, ladies and gentlemen. My mom was attacked by a man, and she said her biggest regret was getting into the car. She knew she should have just taken her chances, and screamed for help. He made her get into the car, and was trying to take her to a secluded area to do God knows what. She was told to get out of the car, and that's when she started to fight back. The guy hit her with the gun, breaking her jaw, but she got right back up, still fighting him. Well, guess that freaked him out. He just ran away, and she got help. Don't be too proud to ask for help. Life has this odd habit of throwing us curveballs every now and then. It can be difficult to overcome it on your own. So don't be alone. Open up. Confide in people you trust. Seek professional help. And be patient. It takes time. Just don't keep it all in you and fight it alone. That's a recipe for real damage to your mental health and happiness. In an emergency situation, if you need help for yourself or someone else, don't just yell "help" or call 911. Use specifics, instead say something like "you in the blue shirt, help." Unless called out personally, people have a tendency to walk on by, assuming someone else will help. Using a personal detail gets them involved. Can confirm, was taught this during first aid training. Same goes for anytime you need someone to act or perform task. Asking a group will result in no action as everyone assumes everyone else will do it, thus nothing gets done. By putting the onus on a specific person, they feel obligated to do it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Reddit stories like this.